This morning, I called Bob and Janny Bergdahl and told them that after nearly 5 years in captivity, their son Bowe is coming home. As part of this effort, the United States is transferring 5 detainees from the prison in Guantanamo Bay to Qatar. The Qatari government has given us assurances that it will put in place measures to protect our national security.
So a disturbing update tonight on a highly controversial prisoner swap that was negotiated under President Obama, as you saw in 2014, when 5 high-risk Taliban members were released in exchange for former Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl. Bergdahl had wandered off his base in Afghanistan back in 2009, and he was captured by the terror group. For years, Americans searched for him. During that time, 6 soldiers were killed in the process. And last year, Bergdahl pled guilty to desertion. And after that, many, including President Trump, said that they believed that he was a traitor. Now, those 5 terrorists have joined the Taliban's political office in Qatar. So joining me now, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Waltz, a former Green Beret commander who led the search missions for Bergdahl, and he is now running for Congress in Florida. Colonel Waltz, good to have you here tonight. So,
thanks, Martha.
First of all, what goes through your mind as somebody who searched for him when you see that these individuals are now re-engaged with the Taliban?
Well, Martha, this just continues to be an outrage to every soldier who sacrificed, who fought over there, who participated in that search. Private Bergdahl stacked up his gear, left his weapon behind, sent emails denouncing America, and defected to the enemy. And now he is walking free. Private Bergdahl is walking free somewhere, and now the 5 most senior, what were essentially the Taliban's war cabinet that Americans also sacrificed to capture and put in Guantanamo, are also free. It's also, Martha, it's important to point out, it's also a slap in the face to the Afghan people. These 5 senior Taliban were murderers and had massacred thousands of Afghan minorities, and the Afghan government was never offered an opportunity to bring them to justice before the Obama administration set them free. So it's just one amongst a list of bad deals that the Obama administration is responsible for.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. What do you think they're going to do now? Now they're part of the political operation in Qatar. What does that mean?
So, a lot of analysts are debating whether this means that the Taliban are serious about maybe negotiating. Others are saying that, no, this is a return to the old hardliners. Either way, Martha, talks are going to take some time. And I guarantee you these guys are not sitting around singing Kumbaya and God Bless America. They're recruiting, they're fundraising. Any terrorist who was held in Guantanamo is essentially a celebrity in jihadist world. They're inspiring more attacks. And for the tens of thousands of Americans that are in 60 to 70 countries, including Afghanistan, as we speak, keeping us safe, I think this is just awful all around. And, Martha, if I can make another point, we have hostages, American citizens, journalists, aid workers, held by terrorists and rogue regimes all over the world. And this deal violated decades of precedent that America doesn't negotiate with terrorists. And so guess what? Whether they're ISIS or the Iran regime or you name it, they now want their deal like President Obama gave the Taliban, and it's making it harder. This is a terrible deal for everyone, and I just think it's outrageous that they're now free.
Before I let you go, I just want to ask you one quick question about all of these troops being sent to the border and potentially even 15,000, because you heard, one of our previous guests perhaps saying, that it was all just a stunt and that it's ridiculous to send that many troops to the border. What do you think?
Well, I think what's important here, and that President Trump knows, it's the message that it sends, right? That I understand that these people, and I sympathize, that are leaving a terrible life and they want a better life in America. But we are a nation of borders. We are a nation of laws. I sponsored an Afghan soldier who fought with us to come over here. He waited 5 years to get that special immigrant visa, and he's now here. He started his own business with his family, but his cousin and his cousin's entire family were executed for fighting with us. There's over 50,000 of them on a waiting list that deserve to be here, not through a lottery system or not through somebody who just walks over our border. And you won't find anyone that's more outraged about illegal immigration than immigrants who did it legally. And we have to uphold those laws.
Great point. All right, Colonel, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
All right.
Colonel Michael
Thanks so
Waltz.
much.